This Friday, Senegal wraps up campaigning ahead of Sunday's presidential elections. The polls are said to be the most open in the country's history and come amid an unusually tense political atmosphere. Originally slated for February 25th, the election was abruptly delayed by President Macky Sall several weeks earlier, only hours before campaigning was set to begin. That move triggered a wave of violence and raised concerns of a backslide in one of the region's most stable democracies. Here to tell us more, our foreign editor, Philip Turles. Hello to you, Philip. What are you looking at when you're looking at these elections? What issue is most important?
Record number of candidates so far, 19 candidates. 18 men and one woman. The one woman, unfortunately, doesn't stand much of a chance of being elected to office in Senegal. This is one of West Africa's most stable democracies, which has been through, as you were just saying, a turbulent few months, principally because Macky Sall, the prime minister, or the president of the country rather, announced last year that he was not going to seek re-election, having done 2 terms. And then all of the electoral process was thrown into doubt on the 3rd of February after Macky Sall cancelled the upcoming elections originally planned for February the 25th, saying that they could even be pushed forward as far as the end of this year in December. That led to protests around the country, accusations that he was orchestrating a power grab in the country. The elections have now been scheduled for the 24th of March, which is just prior to when Macky Sall's term in office ends on the 2nd of April. And that was after the Constitutional Council moved in to insist that those elections take place before Macky Sall's term in office terminates, because that would have thrown the country into a situation where there was a void as far as power is concerned and no real way of assuring who will be taking over the presidency between then and the elections. So the election's taking place this Sunday.
19 candidates. Who are the main ones?
Right, well, there are a few. There's about 4 main candidates. The first one is Amadou Ba, who is 63. He's the candidate who's backed by the outgoing President Macky Sall. He has said and described his rivals as bandits, saying they're not going to win. But the problem for Amadou Ba is that he's up against a fall in popularity for Macky Sall. So it is a bit of an uphill struggle for him to look forward to winning the election this Sunday. Opposite him is Bassirou Diomaye Faye, who is the candidate who is really the favourite to win this election. He is the running mate of Ousmane Sonko. Ousmane Sonko, who would have been the candidate had he not been disqualified from running in this election. Both men were in jail. They were only released from jail last week. They are seen as being the front runners in this. They're running on a ticket of trying to resurrect the economy, to stamp out government corruption, and they say basically there was a conspiracy to keep them out of the election, and that is why they're running and why they're so hopeful of winning. 2 other candidates very rapidly. Idrissa Seck, who's a former prime minister under former President Abdoulaye Wade. He's running for the 4th time. And also Khalifa Sall, who's not related to Macky Sall. He's 68, former mayor of Dakar. He's been in jail, now he's out of jail, and he sees himself as a candidate of reconstruction, of reconciliation and national unity.
Yeah, what are the main issues driving this election?
Okay, well, the country is a stable country. It's been through a very difficult period over the last few months, but in fact, Senegal is one of the most stable countries in West Africa. If you look at the facts and figures about the economy, though, they leave quite a lot to be desired. Unemployment is 19.5%. That is really the most important factor as far as many of the young Senegalese are concerned. They say that they find it very hard to find work. They want the economy to be kickstarted so that there are more jobs available. That is really the crux of this election campaign, is to get the unemployment rate down in Senegal. Inflation, 5.9% according to the World Bank, but some reports from the IMF saying 3.3%. But whatever it is, that means an increase in spending for most people in Senegal, with prices going up. So they're finding it hard to make ends meet. That's another important issue in in the elections. As I was saying, it's a very stable country as far as corruption is concerned. 70th out of 180 countries, according to Transparency International. Only 3 African countries do better: Botswana, Rwanda and Ghana. So that is something that Senegal is quite proud of. But the poverty level in Senegal is bad. That's 36% of the country live below the poverty line, and 75% of GDP is in debt in the country. So all of those are problems that are going to have to be sorted out this weekend. So the election's taking place on Sunday. I think we'll probably find out pretty quickly afterwards, within the few hours afterwards, just who has won those elections.